we, the jury, having found the defendant Anthony Sowell guilty of the aggravated murder of Tanya Carmichael.
After weeks of testimony, a convicted sex offender is now a convicted serial killer. It took the jury just over 15 hours before announcing the verdict on 83 counts against Anthony Sowell.
We've got team coverage from the Justice Center. Chief Investigator Ron Regan has been covering this trial from the very beginning. He begins our coverage tonight with more on what happened in court.
Well, those jurors did spend 15+ hours in deliberation, and it took Judge Dick Ambrose another hour to read the entire 83-count verdict. But here's a look back now at some of the key testimony of two women who played a crucial role in Sowell's conviction.
Count 1, the charge of aggravated murder. We, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Anthony Sowell, guilty of aggravated murder.
Anthony Sowell was found guilty of murdering 11 women and brutally attacking 2 others, including Gladys Wade, who earlier in the trial told this horrific story.
Because this man is strangling me, telling me, bitch, you can scream all you want, you finna die.
All right, so you're fighting for your life.
Yes.
And another woman who asked not to be identified.
And at the same time, he started to put the extension cord around my neck.
From behind?
From behind.
Then what, if anything, did he do with that extension cord?
He squeezed it as tight as he could to where I couldn't breathe. And I started to see white little spots, and I continued to try to tussle with him, but he was on my back, and I couldn't breathe, and I had my hands between it, and I kept continuing to tussle with him. And I finally blacked out.
It'll be a week off for the jury, but they will return to their seats here at the Justice Center on Monday, August the 1st at 8:30 in the morning to begin what's called the punishment phase of the trial that will decide if Anthony Sowell lives or dies. Live at the Justice Center, I'm Chief Investigator Ron Regan.
Thank you for your reporting, Ron. We appreciate it. Well, we just received a statement from Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson regarding the Anthony Sowell verdict. Mayor Jackson said, his words here, "My hope is that this verdict brings the family and friends of the victims closure and some measure of peace. Today marks the end of their wait for justice."
The trial of Anthony Sowell now heads to the penalty phase, which could take weeks. But family and friends of the 11 women who died may be closer to closure today after the long list of guilty verdicts were read in open court. News Channel 5's Paul Kiska continues our team coverage with reaction from the courtroom. And Paul, this was a very difficult day for the families.
It has been, but patience is the key word here, Danita. These crimes happening nearly 2 years ago. Then this trial for 4 weeks. Relatives and friends of the 11 victims listened patiently to more than 62 witnesses, 400 exhibits, and then today, for nearly 90 minutes, they listened as Judge Dick Ambrose read guilty 82 times. Inside the courtroom, victims' relatives gently but anxiously rocked back and forth as that verdict was read, then shared hugs before leaving the courtroom. Murderer Anthony Sowell killed Denise Hunter's sister Imelda and her cousin Crystal Dozier. Hunter said she has found peace despite a tragedy that caused her family so much worry and so much pain.
And I'm glad for the verdict. These women, we do deserve this justice, and I'm so glad that finally on July the 21st, that all of our families can rest assured and our loved ones can rest assured that peace and justice has come to our families. Some of it was, very gross and devastating to hear, but I already accepted peace when we found out about the murders. So whatever the details was, some of it I didn't want to know, but peace was already settled in my heart for our families and the other loved ones that were lost, the ladies.
When you see Anthony Sowell in there, what goes through your mind?
Oh, we finally got him.
We finally got him, she said. 2 other relatives of victims tried to talk with us on camera. They just became overwhelmed with emotion, too choked up to talk at this point. Now they wait to see if Anthony Sowell will get life in prison or die by lethal injection. Reporting live from the Justice Center, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Paul. Stay with News Channel 5 on air and online for more reaction to the Anthony Sowell verdict. Newsnet5.com dedicates a whole section with more on the case, from the victims to a blog with details of the trial. You can also follow us on Twitter at WEWS Court or #ImperialAVE.